Did you meet Tommy Dreamer dressed as a penis?
I completely forgot about that.
Oh, look at that.
Can you see me?
You hear us, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Phenomenal. How are you doing tonight?
I'm so tired.
Oh, me too. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I got a show tonight. But yeah, I'm extremely tired. What would you be doing tonight if you were not on this show? Would you be sleeping?
Doing what I'm doing now. I'm just watching basketball before work.
What are you watching?
Right now the Bucks and Bulls. The Bucks are blowing the Bulls out.
You're a big Laker fan.
That I am, unfortunately.
You are unfortunately a Laker fan. I do know that you are a Kobe Laker fan, which means you're probably not a LeBron Laker fan. And is it true? I just saw this on Twitter. I don't know if it's true. I only believe half of what I read on Twitter, and the other half is bullshit. Is he done for the year, Kobe?
Kobe?
Not
Kobe?
Are you? I'm sorry.
Do you mean LeBron?
That's how much I love Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Sorry, it's not too soon.
Yeah.
LeBron. Thank you.
Why would he play? They're already out.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about him saying he's sitting down, sitting out. I don't know. They are officially eliminated.
Yeah, he should. I mean, his body's like going to shit right now, so
yeah,
there's no reason for him to play.
Man, I feel really bad. I hope nobody from Cody's code. Now I'm talking about Cody. I have too much on my brain. I'm tired, man. My shoot job's getting to me, and it's only fucking Tuesday.
Damn.
I work with kids.
I'm still not recovered from the week.
No?
No.
WrestleMania weekend or just?
Yeah.
What did you do this weekend?
I had 5 shows.
Interesting.
And most of the time I didn't go to sleep until the earliest I went to sleep was 3. One night I went to sleep at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm tired.
You're exhausted. I'll take it easy on you. Don't worry about it. But before we get started with everything, who you are, people might not even know anything about you. I want to hear the first time you met the hardcore legend himself, the heart and soul of professional wrestling, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer. When was the first time you met him? I can't hear him. Did he mute himself? I can't hear you. Can you hear him, Vanessa? I can't hear Vanessa either. I've lost all.
I was muted.
Oh, you're muted. I see him.
It's not showing he's muted.
No, he's waving.
You can see him.
He's talking. You're not talking? He said 1 second. See, I'm good with sign language too. He left. He's going to come back.
Yeah.
Interview myself now. What happened to my camera's off angle? It should be over. I can't believe I said Kobe instead of LeBron. No, I don't hear you. Oh, there you are. Hey, there. I hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah. I hear you.
I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything different.
Hey, that's all right. Maybe it was my fault. I didn't do anything to fix it, but I can hear you now.
That Tommy Dreamer.
You've never met him? I'm fairly certain you may. Wait, do you have a story about Tommy Dreamer?
Nope.
None at all.
None.
Not one.
I got nothing for you.
You got nothing for me.
No. Why do you think I met Tommy Dreamer?
I'm trying to think of the best way to keep this kayfabe and still do the interview. I'll say it. Let me think. Did you meet Tommy Dreamer dressed as a
Oh,
Penis?
I completely forgot about that. Probably because I blocked it from my subconscious.
Well, it was revolved around some name we don't mention around here, so I get it.
Correct. Wow. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was at WrestleMania when it was in New York.
Yep.
At a certain penis party. And yeah, we were backstage, and I was dressed up as not an Undertaker druid, but an inflatable penis. And yeah, Tommy walks backstage, and he looks at us, and he just shakes his head, and I died laughing. It was great. I completely forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, I heard you on another podcast mention that. I was there. I was there at WrestleMania weekend that weekend.
Really?
I went to that show of the person we don't mention because my friend Michael Seth Babchek was in a match that night. He's a radio host on Sirius Satellite Radio, Morning Men, and he was in a match with Matt Stryker, and I think Dreamer was in the match as well.
Was it like a 6-man tag or something?
Yeah. It was a 6-man
tag. I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he took like a piece of crap out of his underwear, I believe. Babchek did. It's fun stuff at WrestleMania weekend. But so I wanted to start out the show with that, but a little technical difficulty on the audio and you blocking that out. But that's okay. I get it. It makes sense to block it out.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I completely forgot. Thanks for reminding me, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. But speaking of basketball, you played semi-pro ball.
I played. It was just one season, but I played in the ABA. There was like a startup franchise out here in Texas. They're doing tryouts, and my uncle somehow met I guess technically the owner, and got me in the tryout, and I absolutely killed at the tryout, and they invited me back, and I made the final team. I mean, I rode the bench, but I played.
Still there.
So, yeah.
I heard you talking about this in another show, and I'm interested because we just finished WrestleMania weekend, unless I have my times wrong. Did you ever set up you were going to try to arrange some sort of 3-on-3 tournament, some sort of basketball tournament? Did you get that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, no. It was me, this dude J Rose, and Campbell Soup Myers. He's part of the Premier.
Yeah.
We were talking about it for months, and we just couldn't figure out how to set it up. But I talked to J Rose on Sunday, and he says that whenever we go to LA, I guess for Mania next year, we'll try and figure something out there. But yeah, it didn't line up.
No. I really enjoyed the basketball aspect of your evolution into wrestling because so I think you played in college so correct me if I'm wrong. The PA announcer is what helped you get your foot in the door into wrestling.
Yeah, this dude Carlos Vallon, he's like a San Antonio guy. Well, I think he was like in Corpus for a while, but yeah, he was our PA announcer for the basketball team. And this was when AJ Styles debuted at the Rumble.
Okay. Yeah.
And somehow during practice one day we got to talking about that, and he was like telling me how he ran his own show or whatever, and he could get me, started that way. And I was like, I've always wanted to do that, but I didn't know how. So whenever I stopped playing basketball, I hit him up, and he started helping me train. And then I was with him for only like a month or two, and then he got me over to Hybrid School of Wrestling in San Antonio, and then I was with them for like a year and a half, and then left for reasons, and just been doing my own thing since then.
So so you go into the wrestling school, then you get over to hybrid. You've always been a lover of wrestling, influenced by people like Guerrero, Angle, uh, Benoit, Ring of Honor guys, Brian Danielson. Man, I am stumbling over my words tonight.
You're
Good
good. You're
grief.
good.
It's my kids, man. My shoe job and my kids, but my kids have just been so unlucky lately. I have three. Two of them are sick right now. They
Uh,
just got regular colds, like regular fucking kids getting sick shit. But
yeah,
it's just grueling. It's grueling. They're not
it's a
sleeping
bad
at
time.
night. It's just a bad time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ring of Honor, the Danielson, the McGuinness, those type of guys. What was it about them, about those guys, about the Ring of Honor style back then that intrigued you so much?
So it was actually, I was trying to figure out obviously what I was gonna do style wise when I started.
Okay.
And it was my trainer that was like, you have like an old school look.
Yeah.
So originally I started watching like Billy Robinson and uh like Gotch and all these dudes from like the 50s and 60s and like super old school wrestling. Um and so like I started out like super grounded submission
Yeah.
style, like very old school. Um but as I started to like get experience and evolve, I was always a fan of mid 2000s Ring of Honor. So I started to incorporate more of that into my stuff. And then I started watching more Japanese wrestling. And if it's not clear by my social media the past couple days, Suzuki is a huge influence on me.
He was all over
Uh,
WrestleMania weekend too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the last match I got to see this weekend. First time ever seeing him live. It was incredible. Um, but yeah, just as I slowly like started to evolve, I uh, started to incorporate more Ring of Honor style. And to me, like I'm 6'3", 220, not super athletic. Like I played basketball, but I wasn't like I was a shooter.
Right.
Didn't I wasn't super athletic, so like I'm not gonna be doing flips and all this stuff. Uh, so the more grounded, strike heavy style really appeals to me, uh, especially because for some weird reason I just like getting hit in the face. So I'd rather just stand there and like exchange strikes and wrestle around and like grapple than like run around and do flips.
Yeah. Got that Timothy Thatcher vibe.
Oh, I love Thatcher.
Yeah. I did too, man. Oh man, I think I saw him. I wasn't in at WrestleMania weekend, but I watched a ton of it. I
Yeah,
believe he was at Bloodsport. Did he wrestle at Bloodsport 8 this year? I think so.
I think so.
I think so. That's where I saw him. Uh, it was a hell of a match. Yeah, you give me that old school vibe. The Thatcher vibe, the MMA ground game, but you do a lot of deathmatch wrestling.
It's true.
Would you consider yourself a deathmatch wrestler?
No, I
No.
don't. And it's because to me, deathmatch wrestlers, they go out and do that every single weekend. They do tournaments. They do it more than I do. I've had a handful of death matches. I've only been doing it for a year,
Right.
but uh, I don't want to disrespect them by calling myself a deathmatch wrestler because I haven't put in near the work that they have. Uh, I I'm just like a fighter that does deathmatch wrestling on occasion. I love it because again, I am weird and I like pain. um, and it's a super fun style. But until like I get more experience in it and put in the time, I guess, then I'm not gonna call myself a deathmatch wrestler.
Well, I had a good question and then I lost it because for some reason I kept thinking when I think of deathmatch, I'm not a big deathmatch wrestler watcher, I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, if I've seen several involving, like Mick Foley. Like I like Mick Foley, so I've seen his Cactus Jack shit and all that stuff. We've had
Right.
Brandon, or no, we haven't had Brandon Kirk on here. We've had his lovely wife on here, the Kirks. They're
Yeah.
deathmatch wrestlers, and that's what popped in my head as you were talking. Have you ever had the opportunity to share the ring with one of the Kirks?
Not yet,
Would you
but it's
like
gonna
to?
happen soon.
It is.
It is.
Is it booked?
Not at the moment, but if uh, you pay attention, he stole my Wrestle Rave championship, so
Oh,
I kind of have to get that back, don't I? I'm still technically the champion.
you are. We have learned on this show recently that just because you steal the title and you have the title doesn't mean you're the champion. You didn't pin anyone. You didn't beat anyone. Um,
Right.
Deathmatch. That's a good point though. Deathmatch wrestling. Nobody's ever actually like no one's ever actually. Actually, I better not say that and laugh because maybe someone has passed away in a death match before. I don't quite know that.
Not sure.
I don't know,
I'm not sure.
but I get you. Yeah. So, which one of the Kirks? Which one of them stole the title? Was it the Great Casey or was it that asshole Brandon?
I mean, technically, it was the asshole Brandon.
Yeah.
Casey walked down the ramp after my match. I thought she was gonna like congratulate me. I thought we were cool, you
Yeah.
know. I let them stay at my place while they were here for heavy metal. Uh, but I guess she just wanted to distract me so Brandon could hit me in the back of the head with a barbed wire bat.
Do,
So
does Brandon have her do his dirty work for him?
it seems like it,
It does seem like that. That's the vibe
which
I
is
got.
weird. It's weird because he's great. Like he's a great
Yeah.
wrestler. He's a great deathmatch wrestler. Like I don't know why he needs help.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, we've had her on the show, and based on what she told us, she definitely wears the deathmatch pants in that relationship. Um, so that it doesn't surprise me. It's just I guess that's just how it works.
I mean, I believe it. She's been on a hell of a run the past couple months, so I
Yeah,
believe it.
for sure, for sure. Man, I can't wait for that. That fucking deathmatch. What else do you have coming up?
I have Masada next month.
Oh my lord, you do like pain.
My tag partner from AEW. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he's gotta kill me or something. I don't know.
How did that AEW opportunity come about?
Um, so I actually had my fifth ever match with Sean Dean, the
Mm-hmm.
captain. It
Yep,
was an Evolve tryout
that's
when
right.
they were in like Maryland, I think. So I've known him for 4 years now, or 4 years. Um, so when they were in Dallas a couple months ago, he hit me up to you know go backstage or whatever, um, as an extra, and so I went and did that. Didn't get used, but I mean it was a cool experience. Got to see how stuff was ran and all that. And then whenever they came back to San Antonio, I hit him up and I was like, "Hey, y'all are in my backyard," and he was like, "Yeah, we'll bring you in and see what we can do." Um, so I got there and nothing, for sure guaranteed or anything. And I was just chilling and catering, and they were like, "Hey, uh, your name's on the board," and I was like,
You're going out there.
"Oh God!" Palms started to sweat, nerves were going, and I walked back there, and it was Ass Boys versus Masada and Mercer, and I was like, "Wow!" So yeah.
You have that match with the Ass Boys on AEW. You finish the match. You come through the curtain. who do you seek out first? Does someone seek you out? What advice are you given?
So I actually, technically, I went straight to my phone and called my son.
Oh,
Uh,
nice,
he just turned 6
nice.
the other day, and so I talked to him for a few minutes, which was pretty emotional.
Ah, for
Uh,
sure.
and then after that, I mean, just whoever was there. I think Chandler Hopkins was back there. He's like one of the best we have in Texas, and I was asking him how he liked it and stuff like that. Killing kayfabe, but
Right, right.
talked to Billy Gunn afterwards. Obviously, me and Masada were talking. Just whoever.
Um, your son, 6 years old, into the product, into wrestling.
Um, Not really. I
No,
mean,
interesting.
he's super obsessed with Pokemon and not much else. Uh, but he's seen, like, I've shown him stuff, um, and he'll comment on it, and he'll be like, "I know you're gonna win. You're the strongest," and stuff like that, which is adorable. But nah, I think he's still he's not around it very
Right,
much, so I don't think he'll ever really get into it unless he gets into it on his own. So
and he's still at that age, like you said, with the Pokemon. He's still five. Like I have three daughters, all 12, 9, and 5. So I
mhm.
relate him to the 5-year-old, and like wrestling's out of the house, but she doesn't attract to it. The 9-year-old
Yeah.
does. I was just interested to find out, like, is he concerned? Like, is dad getting hurt in this matches? Like, what's happening?
No, it's weird. I sent his mom a picture of me bloodied up in some Deadpool PJs after my 4-way hardcore match like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and she was texting me back what he was saying, and he was like, "Why is Daddy bloody?" And I was just like, "I got beat up, but you should see the other guy." And he was just like, "Whoa."
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Man, I tell you, the kids that keep you on point for sure. Good lord.
Mhm.
I, I,
Absolutely.
I'm not even surviving with my kids. I'm failing every single day. Every day. I
How
don't
I
know.
feel.
Too many ladies in my house. Oh well, what are you gonna do? You've mentioned Texas a few times. That's your scene. Uh, is that where you are right now? You're in Texas. That's where you are. You're from
Yeah, I'm in San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas. The rest we've had a lot of wrestlers from the Texas scene on here. Um, it's hot. It's big. I don't think it gets enough eyes. Do you feel the same way? Does it? Why is it like that?
So from what I've understood, it's always been considered like a black hole for wrestling.
Someone else told us
Um,
that. Who told us they had to get out of Texas? I forget now. But go ahead.
but I feel like in the past couple years, it's been super hot, and I feel like the right people, like good people, are actually being pushed and promoted. Um, and you see that with like Brian Keith
Yeah.
and Q and Barrett Brown, guys like that. Um, and obviously they're getting out there, but they're still, representing Texas. And you have guys that want to come into Texas to wrestle them. Um, so I feel like we just have like Gino,
Yeah.
Roxy, like people like that. I feel like we just have a lot of good people. I guess showing out, and it's getting a lot of eyes on the state as a whole. There's still a lot of places that are kind of
Yeah.
um, but there's a few that are like doing it right and getting good publicity, and it's just getting more eyes on us, basically.
Um, I know you mentioned Gino and Roxy. Reality of Wrestling comes to mind when I hear those names.
Mm-hmm.
Q as well. We've had Roxy and Q on here. They spoke highly of Texas. I think Booker T does a phenomenal job with ROW. I think I do think that it needs more eyes, and I think people coming in, and the fact that we are getting, Booker's school is pumping some people into the, into the factory, into the machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, we'll get eyes on it. For a while there was oh gosh, when Mark Henry was involved in it, Fury.
Oh, SWE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
SWE. I haven't heard much from them, but maybe my algorithm's off. I don't know.
They got shut down like within the last year or whatever.
Interesting.
They were doing very like old school kind of like WWE
Yeah.
style. I don't know.
Yeah, because the last time
Wasn't my thing.
That's not your thing. The last time I heard from them, there was like I think it was Teddy Long brought Mark Henry in to do something. It was very WWE like, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I kind of like this. Oh, there's Big Cass. Big Cass is back with Melina. This is going somewhere. Maybe it's gonna be up there with Reality of Wrestling, and then all of a sudden, like that, it was gone. Boom.
Yeah.
And I just thought my algorithm was off somewhere in my YouTube, but
No, I think they like changed owners or something, and then like once that happened, it just folded.
yeah, that's out of that's it's out of my league. It's out of my jurisdiction. I do want to jump back to sports for a second. I write a lot of things down, but I never stick to any of my bullet points. I'm just thinking of sports right now. We talked about the Lakers where I fumbled over my names, but you're also a football fan. I know you're a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
So I would like your take on Russell Wilson.
Man, I hope it puts them over the hump because we haven't had a quarterback in a few years.
Yeah.
I like Drew Lock.
Yeah.
He's over there on the sideline dancing, hustling, but I don't think they really gave him an opportunity to develop. But obviously, Russ is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, so it's kind of hard to say that they won't make the playoffs. But you got the Chiefs, the Raiders just got a lot better. They got Devontae Adams,
Yep.
Who's the other one? The fourth one?
Oh,
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders.
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders. Oh gosh,
I'm blanking. It's somebody else who's really good too.
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders. It's not the Niners. Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders.
No, that's the next year.
Chargers.
There you go. Justin Herbert's amazing.
Woo!
How could they not make the playoffs?
Right? That's always been a good division. That's always been a good division.
Yeah. So you got three teams possibly making the playoffs out of that division alone. So I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I liked Denver came out of the gate strong this year. Their defense, and I'm a defense guy, so I liked it. So I think Russell Wilson is gonna do phenomenal.
Yeah. They got some receivers too. Cortland Sutton's really good. Jerry Jeudy's really good.
Cortland Sutton, a fantasy stud.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's interesting. Yeah. Also, I know we talked about it. You played basketball. I know a few others that play basketball. BK himself, Brian Keith. Mysterious Q, I think, plays some basketball. Laker fan as well.
Yeah, he's a Laker fan.
Who'd win one-on-one, you or Brian Keith?
I don't know the level that he played at. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Did he just play in high school, or?
I don't know. I know he plays.
See, I don't know. Tough to say. Like, what happens if I back him down and I score on him, and he gets mad and he kicks me or something. I don't want that to happen.
No. What about you and Q?
Man,
He's a
I think Q might get me. He's built like Megatron, so
he is built
it'd
like
be
Megatron.
kind of hard to guard. They'll just post me up all day. So
All right, one more basketball guy out of Texas. I'm gonna put you 1-on-1 against. You went to the same college as this fella, the Undertaker.
oh, I'm taking that. He's old.
Yeah, he is old. He runs
It's one
circles
move and I'm
around
past
him.
him. You know?
Runs circles.
Isn't that
around
weird?
him. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Knowing that I went to the same school as the Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's very weird. It's even weirder to think that the Undertaker like played basketball.
I think he majored in like journalism too.
Yeah, that's another weird thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, Taker. Good for him.
I guess, sure.
Yeah, right. Whatever fits. I got some more non-wrestling related things that I'm dying to know. I know you're a DoorDash delivery person, or were? Do you still do
Yeah,
DoorDash?
I mean, yeah, on the side. Yeah.
On the side, cool. Are there any crazy DoorDash stories?
Not really. I mean, it's just cool sometimes, like going in rich neighborhoods and seeing like these badass views that some of these houses have and stuff. Uh, but I don't really have any crazy stories.
But
I mean,
you do. Go ahead.
one time somebody canceled like $50 worth of food, so I got free food.
Oh, that is
That was
it. I
cool.
never thought of it that way. So if they order
Yeah.
from DoorDash and then cancel it for one reason or another, that food
I have to have the food with me, like en route to where they're at. And if they cancel it while I have the food, then I get to
it's
keep it.
yours. What was
Yeah.
that? What did they cancel? Yeah.
I don't remember. It was some like Thai food place or something.
I would have thrown it out
Yeah.
the window.
No,
My wife loves Thai food.
it was pretty good. Yeah, it was
I'm
pretty
not a
good.
big fan. Have you had any crazy fan interactions? You're a wrestler. Big fans are a part of the game.
Of course. What do what do you want?
I don't know.
You want
Give me anything. I don't care.
you want the one where this 6'1", 6'2", 300-pound lady was calling me a homophobic slur
That's
for
not cool.
20 minutes in a main event and then crossed the guardrail and got in my face? You want that one?
That sounds like a tough situation. They break that up before you could handle it?
Man, so I didn't let it get to me
Right.
while I was out there because, like, I'm out there doing my thing.
Right.
I was just chilling on the outside. I was part of a group or whatever, and one of the dudes was in the main event. And so I'm just chilling on the outside, and she's just barking the whole time. And I don't register it. I give her a look one time, but I don't say anything. Finally, the main event ends. I start walking to the back. She's still yapping. So I'm like, okay. I walk over there. I yell at her to do something. And she crosses the guardrail, gets in my face with her fist like this. And she's like, I'll punch you in the face. And I'm screaming at her to do something because I would love for that to happen. And luckily, security came and broke it up before anything happened.
Damn.
That's probably the most extreme interaction I've had so far. Usually, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not like a super polarizing person or anything. I'm pretty laid back, so fans are usually pretty chill with me. But that's the one that stands out.
I wonder what it was. I wonder what it was with her that night. Because it said, out of ordinary.
Supposedly, she was telling the promoter that she was just getting into it and she wanted to be part of the show, and I understand that, but there's lines that you don't cross.
Yeah, for sure. Coming through that guardrail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
So
Yeah. Speaking of things that shouldn't happen in the world of wrestling, what do you think? One thing that we need more of in wrestling, and one thing we could use less of. Tough
A great question.
It is a great question. It is. I'll Barry Horowitz myself on the back for that one.
What we could use less of is fans crossing the line.
Fans getting too. Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking to another wrestler earlier today because a fan DM'd me something, and I sent it to them because they're involved. And supposedly, this fan has a track record of crossing the line. And I was like, "Oh, okay, good to know." Like, I understand you want to be part of the show and you buy into stuff or whatever, but like, you have to understand, like, we're not actually out there, you know, being horrible people. Some wrestlers are, but the majority of us aren't, the actual evil people that you see. Right. So some of these fans need to understand that and chill out. I would definitely say just less of that. Man, what we need more of?
Yeah.
What do you think we need more of?
I think it's interesting because it goes hand in hand with what you said we need less of. I think we need more kayfabe in wrestling. I think we need to keep things more kayfabe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how you do that in this world. Like you said, with people crossing the line and with social media in general. But I think aspects of kayfabe can still be done. And I think when done right, it works. Now, I don't know how we can get to that point. I'm not in the business. I'm not a writer. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not anything. But I think if we can somehow get a little more kayfabe, everyone could use a little more kayfabe.
Yeah, I somewhat agree, but I feel like it's kind of hard in this day because of social media, and because you have so many people that are not really characters. Yeah. Most people are just extensions of themselves, just turned up. So I feel like it's a little difficult to do. There's obviously times you can easily pull it off, but and when done right, it's amazing. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are kind of smart to wrestling now, and a lot of times they play along. But I feel like it's just harder nowadays.
Maybe we need more fans letting themselves be entertained by the product and not
suspension of disbelief,
and not going so far as, oh well, I know this and this about this situation, so that's not gonna happen. Just let it go. I think that's what I need.
I think especially on the indies, what we need more of is like long-term stories.
Yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of one-off like great wrestling matches, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like for me, I love a good story. There's this company in Texas called New Texas Pro.
Yep.
And I had an 8-month story with a manager, and I'm just sitting here facing all his clients until I can get to him, and it's the payoff at the end is worth it. We could easily just go out there and do a one-off or whatever, and then I beat him, and that's that, and that's cool. But you get fans more invested when they can grab onto something and they go for the ride, and there's a payoff at the end. You know, because you look at like Punk and MJF, what they just did in AEW.
Yes,
like that was amazing.
And I don't think it's over. I think they'll circle back to it.
Yeah. I feel like if somehow we could capture that more often on the indies, like it would make things a lot better, you know?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's long-term storytelling, suspension of disbelief, and not crossing the lines, and it will make for an even better experience all across the board.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, we're nearing the end of the show, and what I do at the end of every show is I'm going to give you the mic now. You can put over anything you want. You can bury anyone you want. You can plug, say anything you want. I will not interrupt. The floor is yours.
I'm not gonna bury anybody because I'm very much in a zone right now of putting people over.
There you go.
Because I feel like we could all eat. You know, there's plenty of wrestling to go around. Everybody can get a slice. Really, the only thing I have that's huge coming up is Masada at Full Blown Pro in Laredo, Texas, May 22nd, I believe. And that is going to be violent and bloody. And honestly, that will be the biggest match of my career because those who know Masada know what he can do. And I've been in the ring with John Wayne Murdoch and Atticus and Orin and Ruben Steele and Casanova Valentine, and now we're going to Masada. So this will either make my deathmatch career or it will end it.
End it.
So very much looking forward to it. Yeah, that's really all I got right now.
Phenomenal. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great stuff. You've been a pleasure to have on. Thank you for giving us your time tonight. Go get some rest and stay sane. Don't get too hurt.
I'm gonna try. I'll try.
Have yourself a great night.
All right, man. You too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Peace. Awesome. Nice chill guy.